Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is May 29th, and right now we're looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You can see the frontal system moving across the region as we speak. We got another system out here. What this is going to do is help to amplify another ridge here as we go through the next couple of days. We'll take a look at those details. We'll take a look at what was going on this morning across some of the Oregon, Washington Cascades, getting a bit of rainfall here for Seattle and Portland as well. And we'll dive into all those details and the extended forecast as we go through the video here this morning. Looking at lightning strikes over the last 24 hours, look at this one here for some of the eastern slopes of the Cascades of Oregon up into Washington. Several rounds of thunderstorms. I shouldn't call it several rounds here, but we did get this activity moving from south to north across especially the eastern slopes and some of the Cascades of Washington and Oregon, and some of eastern Oregon as well. And it even got out and towards, some portions of the lower elevations of Washington as well. Now, if we take a look at that here, let me make sure that we have the goes derived. We do, and we're going to play this through yesterday, so it's back all the way up. And if you pay close attention there to, again, Oregon Cascades, these slopes there, you can see that thunderstorm activity moving as we went through the afternoon and evening yesterday. And look at some of those thunderstorms, prolific lightning producers there. Let me know if you heard some of that action. And then this moved up across some of the Oregon Cascades. It did start to decrease in coverage, but it moved up towards the border. And then you can see those thunderstorms start to spread up into Washington state as well. And you can see some lightning strikes maybe out there, the east slopes of the Cascades again. As we went through early this morning, might have woke some people up. And then you can see up towards Lake Chelan, and then a few thunderstorms right there. A couple thunderstorms anyway, moving up across some of the Columbia Basin there. And that's where we are right about now. You notice Seattle, Portland didn't get anything out of this, or even the foothills there for western Washington, western Oregon. And taking a look at the wider view of things here as far as what is going on right now, I see some light rain for Portland, some off and on showers here for western Washington, go towards Whidbey Island, a little bit of light rain there as well. Bellingham, some light rain, southwest BC, and you go up across portions of eastern British Columbia are getting, looks like some maybe still some lightning ongoing out there, at least some showers ongoing right now as well. And if I click on that, you can see Methil Valley getting some light rain as we speak right now as well. Now, if you want to go to the Patreon page here, the link is down below. You can also support the channel, or you can sign up for the public view. That is free. And yeah, leave me some of your weather images on the community tab there if you would as well. Now, taking a look here at Storm Prediction Center, this is for today. You can see the thunderstorm threat there still in place across Idaho, Montana, up into British Columbia. This is day 2. No thunderstorm threat, generally speaking, here across much of the region, just kind of clipping eastern portions of Idaho there. And then day 3, this would be from Saturday morning to Sunday morning. Eastern Oregon, some of southeast Washington will reemerge into this thunderstorm threat. So taking a look at what is going on, we got the Pacific Northwest right here, square in the center of this image. Gulf of Alaska trough is in place. There goes our system, what we're talking about today. And then we build this ridge there. We mentioned that on the infrared satellite imagery. Saw that system out there. The ridge will be building as we go through Friday and Saturday. And then this next system starts to swing through here. It's fairly weak, and it's going to swing through on Saturday. You can kind of see a bit of troughing here extend down towards the California coastline, but this has changed over the last day or two. The trough was sitting up more across the Intermountain West, and now this is showing more across some of Canada and Montana there, and kind of swinging through a little bit quicker, and the ridge being a little bit closer here to the Pacific Northwest as we go on in through next week. So that is something to watch. That's a big change from what yesterday early morning and the previous day's model runs were showing. So taking a look at things right now, there's that precipitation as we go through the day today. Again, the better chance of thunderstorms here across British Columbia, some in northeast Washington, Idaho, and Montana. And then we dry out as we go through Friday and Saturday, unless you're across Vancouver Island in western BC there. This is Friday evening. We're going on in through the day Saturday here as well. And then the next frontal system rolls through. But you notice it's not bringing a lot of precipitation to Seattle or Portland. But if you go up across areas a bit further north, Skagit, Whatcom County, Bellingham, up into southwest BC, some British Columbia, you're getting a bit more precipitation out of that frontal system. And then the trough kind of swings through across Montana, portions of Alberta, and that continues off to the east, and maybe some residual showers as we go through Monday across the northern Cascades. And then we scroll off into the future here. It looks like we do dry out for a period next week as well. More on that here in a moment in the extended forecast. So lightning flash density potential, if we scroll through here, again, the troughing not sitting up nearly as robust across the Intermountain West. So there will be some thunderstorm potential as we go through Saturday afternoon, as you can see there. A little blurry orbs showing up there. You can't completely rule out a lightning strike for Vancouver Island, maybe some of western Washington, but not a big signal at all. Some of southwest BC, maybe Sunday afternoon, and you can see across the Intermountain West, definitely your better chance of seeing some thunderstorm activity. Now, this is looking at the composite reflectivity, the Doppler radar may look like here over the next 60 hours. And you can see as we're wrapping things up this morning, we go into the afternoon hours. There goes some of that thunderstorm activity again, northeast Washington, British Columbia. That would be about 1 o'clock today. There's 2, 3, 4, 5 p.m. And then you can see the showers really wrap it up here and kind of ending here for western Washington as we go through this evening. And then we start to dry out a bit here across the region. You can see some of that precipitation out over the Pacific Ocean. And that's associated with this next frontal system that's going to start to roll in here on the morning of Saturday. But again, not much of a punch with this system for Seattle, Portland. Better amounts the further you go north or towards the Washington coastline. And that is on the day Saturday as that weak system kind of swings through. Now, the high-resolution rapid refresh, just kind of showing you, again, today, some of the thunderstorm potential there. There's OMAC, and you can see northeast Washington kind of under the gun, and the showers wrapping up as we go through the later afternoon and towards the evening hours. Should be done for western Washington and western Oregon. Now, taking a look at daily max 2-minute temperature. So we should warm up a little bit here. You know, we're getting towards summertime. We're almost to meteorological summer. That happens on June 1st. But you can kind of see maybe upper 60s for Seattle, maybe low 70s there for western Oregon, some upper 80s there east of the mountains. This is again Thursday, May 29th. There we go. Friday, we warm things back up for Seattle. Look at that 77, some mid 80s for Portland, Willamette Valley, down into the Rogue Valley. You're looking at temperatures upper 80s. And look at this one, 98 degrees down here, southwest Oregon. Some of these interior valley areas getting pretty darn right warm. Boise up towards 90 degrees here as well. Again, this is tomorrow, May 30th, Friday. And there's Saturday, a pretty warm day east of the mountains here, but we start to cool down as that system will be swinging through on the day on Saturday. Then we go through Sunday. Much of the region cools down, as you can see there. And then we go to Monday, Tuesday, kind of keeping things seasonable. No big warm up in our immediate future here. We'll be monitoring that because the models have been in some flux here, taking away that trough here across a lot of the West. And, I have a feeling there are probably more changes to come here over the next few days. Looking at 24-hour precipitation totals here, I know I was at about 1/10 of an inch at my house. As of this morning, it looks like it was still raining out there when I came down to do the video. And then we go on in through Friday. And again, the running 24-hour precipitation total. There goes Saturday system. Doesn't even show anything for Seattle on this one. Maybe a couple hundreds for up towards Everett. Better for Bellingham, southwest BC, as I mentioned. Maybe a little bit down there towards Tacoma as well, but not much to write home about with this Saturday system. A lot of clouds around, though, and kind of keeping us on the cooler side of things as we go through the day Saturday. Now, wider view of things here. I wanted to show you what happened over the last 36 hours or so. Ensemble mean here on the left, 06Z run versus 24-hour difference here of the model runs. This is on May 27th, the nighttime run. So if we put that into motion, we see the ridge build, not much change there. But then with the next trough, you can see that it really carved things out on the previous run. You can see this troughing come down across the Intermountain West and much of the West Coast, but you see how much further east and much weaker that this trough is here, and this ridge is much closer to the Pacific Northwest on the more recent model runs here. So you can see the big changes we've been dealing with here. So we'll look to see if the models are going to calm down or if things are going to change again here over the next day or two, and kind of see what is to come as we go through next week. Now, artificial intelligence as well shows that ridging, then the weak Saturday system there with that troughing, closed low there at the coast of California or Southern California. And then you can see that troughing drop down here across the Intermountain West. Excuse me. And there's the ridge out over the Pacific Ocean. So we'll continue to watch that. But right now, it continues to show some troughing out across the plains and the ridging here right along the west coast of North America. But yeah, we'll see what changes that will bring here over the next few days. I have a hunch it'll probably be changing a little bit more as well, which they usually do anyway. And artificial intelligence, there went last night's system this morning. Then we go through Saturday here, and then you can kind of see we tend to dry out a bit here. No really organized systems, maybe a frontal system as we go through the later portion of next week, but not much of a punch to that one as well. Now, 15-day precipitation anomaly. This is the Pacific Northwest. Again, sharp cutoff there across portions of western BC, northern Vancouver Island, versus what Washington, Oregon, a lot of British Columbia, Idaho, and western Montana are scheduled to get here. Again, this is the departure from normal precipitation we would normally get during this 15-day period there, and it's definitely on the drier side. And the European Artificial Intelligence and the ensemble mean have been pretty good at picking up on that signal, because we have been well below normal since April 1st. I mean, look at this craziness across some portions like Lake Chelan. You're between 5 and 25% of normal. Very dry here across the Pacific Northwest. Western Oregon between 25 and 50%. A lot of western Washington has been well below normal as well. Eastern Oregon, some eastern Washington also since April 1st. And since January 1st here, some of these numbers are skewed a little bit here, but you don't normally get a lot of precipitation east of the mountains, so these can be skewed much easier. But Washington State has not been doing well since January 1st, kind of out of the normal for a year with a little bit of La Nina flavor in the atmosphere, though. So, yeah, it's not a good look. And since October 1st, a little bit of a different scenario here, but still western Washington, some of western Oregon has definitely been below normal. And this is the new drought monitor just issued today, I believe. I'll check the date on that. Yeah, that was May 27th, actually, so a couple days ago. But we did remove some extreme drought across western Montana there. But if you notice, we have now introduced some moderate drought here to northeast Oregon and moderate drought to northwest Oregon as well. Some abnormally dry creeping into the I-5 corridor there also, and kind of extended some of that moderate drought across western Washington as well. And this is likely to get a bit worse here also, depending on how things go as we go on in through the summer months. But 6 to 10 day, this is probably going to be updated a little bit here as well, kind of that below normal signal across the west. But we'll see what today's update brings. Here's the 6 to 10 day above normal, again at odds with the European ensemble mean. And the Climate Prediction Center, I don't think, has had a good track record here over the last couple of months with their 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook. So anyway, what else? Well, we've got a couple of days where we're going to dry out here, weak system on Saturday, then potentially drying out again as we go through next week. But we'll check back on the models. We'll see what's changed. Otherwise, hope you guys are having a good day. Click like and subscribe. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.